Game started.
Candle maker. Okay, let's try c4. After c6, you can play e4 right away. And normally they would go d5. He's going for the knight there. Let's defend the pawns in the center and develop a kind of Botvinnik setup here. It's one of those systems you can play when your opponent is making random moves, which is what this looks like to me. This may be some system, but it doesn't look like anything that I know of. So he's going for a quick kingside expansion, which should be all right. I mean, I can play f4 now and break this up. And I don't have to castle. I might want to castle, though. Let's see, if I play f4 now, let's start with f3. Just unpin. And castle. So f4 or g4. g4 to hold off his advance. f4 to expand. If he takes, I guess I would take back with a piece and try and make use of, maybe the knight, and try and make use of the open f-file rather than taking back with a pawn and trying to expand. Either way should be good, actually. Okay, so f4 doesn't have to take. If he doesn't take, maybe I will push and just expand myself. The taking back with the pawn gives me a lot of central control, but it opens up the g-file. And since he hasn't castled, so he's going there with his knight. I'm going to push on then. Keep it closed for the moment. Ask that knight where it's really going. I don't think that knight has any good home anywhere. If it comes here, I'll take it. Maybe it's not so good to take. I could put on the pressure first with bishop e3. Aha, he gets a check. Yeah, this is a weak diagonal here in this system. It doesn't have a knight on g4 to take advantage of that, though. Knight g4 to f2 is always annoying in these systems, in these setups. Yeah, so he's going there. The knight does not move with check, so I can pin this way. And queen can take my b pawn, and then I can play rook b1, so I don't think that's so great. I'll get to invade on the b file. So I will not be deterred by the rook b1 threat. I mean queen. I'll not be deterred by queen b2 threat. Queen b2, rook b1, queen a3, rook takes b7. Okay, so he just shores up his knight, closes this diagonal. And now I can put a knight on d5. Hitting the queen, and really asking if it's going to take this pawn. Now when I play rook b1, the queen can take a2. So it might have been worth considering. But he didn't. Okay. So should I push on with f6? f6, pawn takes, knight takes, rook takes, bishop takes. I don't have enough force on f6 yet. Can I gather more force on f6? Not so easily. I need the dark squared bishop, huh? A tricky position. Okay, maybe rook b1 anyway, and I'll play b4. Maybe try and open up a line on the queen side here. He still doesn't have his pieces out very effectively. So maybe I push the b pawn and just double my heavy pieces on the b file and invade this way. If he can never castle. So he did play that. So that'll open up the f file. I was wondering if he would ever go for e6 just to try and chase the knight away. Now he's got to take back with a pawn to be consistent to go after the knight. Yeah. And the knight has some homes, but it can't go forward. It just gets taken. So I guess its only real home is there. And he's still got problems as to where he's going to castle. He can't castle kingside because the open file. Okay, and the center is completely closed. Well, let's my knight come back in here, and I will put it back there. That seems like a good spot. I own one of the open files in the position now. Now my job is to open up another file and own that one too. And his dark squared bishop is pretty dead. So is my light squared bishop too, though. Yes, so can he jump into G? He can jump into G4. So let's play the knight. Knight to C3 is a dual purpose move. It supports the knight, so I can replace, if he takes, I'll replace it with the knight. And it opens up this diagonal. It didn't help. He can still play knight G4, can't he? Knight G4 is the move. Okay, so if I take this knight, I guess I don't want to do that. Let's retreat the bishop and cover these squares. So the knight can't hop into E3 in particular. It's annoying. It'd be annoying if a knight showed up on E3 and I didn't have a way to chase it away. Okay, he's supporting his knight there, and he can play, he can push on with H5. That would be annoying for sure. Yeah, somehow he chased my knight away just long enough to get his knight developed, and now I don't like this position so much. I need to push that knight away, I guess. I couldn't allow him just to play H4 there and not have an answer. Yeah, he can still play H4, huh? If I take the knight, he takes with check, and I can't easily block. So what to do? Queen here, so I can take back with the queen, I guess. If he plays H takes G3. Tricky position. I never got my B4 move in. I've left the D pawn on D3. The pawn on D3 undefended at the moment. This square here is covered by the knight. This square is covered by the queen and the bishop. I could play rook to rook f5 maybe. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then his knight is hanging. And where does it go? Goes back to f3, f6. Yeah, that's probably not so bad. Okay. So let's I'm going to move the bishop here to create a space for my king so I can unpin the h-pawn and just take his knight. And if he takes, I'll take back with the rook and I'll be able to double rooks on the f-file. He didn't do any of that, okay. So let's think. Knight takes, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes. Looks pretty strong. Although I have queen takes g5 at the end. And some ideas against his king too. If I don't get mated. Okay, now he castles. Aha. Okay, I'm going to take the piece. If I don't take it, I'm probably losing anyway, so I might as well take it. Yep, so he can go there. See, I can take this guy. Thing is, he's got a lot of force over here, but he's not crashing through immediately, and I did just want a piece. So I'm sort of hoping this will work out in my favor. My knight, after he takes back with a pawn, my knight can go to b5, maybe. And I also have knight to f6, forking his bishop and his queen. I didn't see any other good squares for this knight. I didn't want it coming here or here where his bishop would just take it. Here it would take it. Here it would interfere with my rooks. There, he can go there, huh? So if I go here with the knight, hits his queen. He takes my queen, I take his queen. He takes my knight. Let's see, can I throw in a check? I do have a check here. King there. Yeah, I think I need to do something like that because if I move the queen away, he's got bishop to h7, bishop h2 check. King can't go this way. The king maybe could have gone to f2. So as long as I didn't put the queen on f2, but where else could the queen go? Yeah, queen would have had to go to d. Queen would have had to go to e1. So I could have tried queen e1, bishop here check, king f2. Pretty scary with an open f-file. So I gave a piece back. And now I do have a check. I can pick up a pawn. Let's count 2 rooks and 2 pieces on each side. And how many pawns? Same number of pawns if I grab a pawn here. This one is not loose. It's defended.
Check.
Okay, so back. So there's material parity. He still has this check, but I don't think it's quite as fatal. Maybe it's still fatal, actually.
Check.
Because after king f2, check, king. The king can go here.
Check.
And check here, the king
Check.
can go there. I'm defending the rook. And maybe he's just sort of chased me away. I mean, his rook is hanging. This pawn is not hanging because the bishop is still defending it. He can bring his rook here, but then I take his rook. If he takes my rook, I take back with the bishop. Maybe he still has checks over here, and that will prove fatal. But I'm thinking, well, if I could walk out to c2 and then to b3,
check,
I would be okay, right? Yeah, so he wants to win the bishop. Maybe he gets the piece, yeah. I'm threatening mate, though. If he takes the bishop and I go here, then he's got to deal with the mate threat. So let's see if he finds a way to do that. Just rook back, I guess, is fine. And then we'll take it from there. But the knight here does a convenient job of preventing the king from escaping the back row. So there is a back rank threat he's got to deal with. He just goes there. Okay, I'm putting pressure on this bishop so that I can take the pawn over here.
Black forfeits on time.
Oh, he ran out of time. Okay, well, that's not a great way to win, but at least my losing streak came to an end. So Candlemaker played a good game. We'll check this out in postmortem, see if I still had any chances. See you guys later. Bye.